Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
From a championship backfield to your morning drive.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
You're locked in to Off the Bench.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, here's Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Welcome in on this Wednesday. How we doing, everybody? Taylor Sharp here with you on Off the Bench, filling in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn here in the Raising Cane studio on this Wednesday morning. Every Wednesday show brought to you by the folks over at Hood Dental. We got a lot to cover. We had an LSU men's basketball game last night. We had an LSU softball game last night. We got baseball tonight. We got a weekend series coming up as well. I mean, there is a ton to get to. 3 guests on today's show. Dr. Stephen Etheridge actually will be in studio in his normal 8 a.m. slot. Then LSU Beach volleyball coach Russell Brock, he's going to hop on with us at 8:15. Their season officially begins on Friday. And then Devin Snow, I know he's normally in our Monday spot, the craziness of Mardi Gras out there in New Orleans. Devin will join us at 9:15 today. Again, Taylor Sharp here with you. Alondra Villarreal, Braxton Rizzuto along for the ride as well. Guys, how we doing this morning? Alondra, first day of Lent. How we doing with no caffeine?
I decided yesterday that I wasn't going to set myself up for failure because I knew, again, I'm going to New York next week.
Right.
I keep getting targeted so hard on my algorithm for places to check out while I'm there.
Of course.
And there's all these coffee shops that look so good. So I'm I'm not going to set myself up because I know that I'm going to try until next week. And then next week's going to come around and I'm going to get a coffee. And then I'm going to feel worse about myself than if I I'm going to feel bad about myself if
you don't reach
give
the goal,
up caffeine
right.
And then I drink caffeine next weekend.
You ever seen on Dodgeball, Vince Vaughn says, if you have a goal, you might not reach it, but if you don't have one, you're never disappointed.
Right,
exactly. That's exactly where I'm at. Braxton, you're not doing Lent, right?
No,
you don't.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, it's Ash Wednesday.
It is Ash Wednesday.
Where we getting the ashes today?
So Brittany and I usually walk across the street to St. Ag.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
It's the one. Is that the one that's kind of behind Sonic?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a big church.
It's bigger than, because I'd never been there before. It's not the one I usually go to.
Right.
But Brittany and I go, because it's right across the street. So we'll probably go after this and just go get them real quick. But yeah, it's bigger than I thought.
So that's the thing with ashes. It doesn't have to be your church. You can just kind of go whenever. Okay. It's cool.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
They do drive-through ashes.
Oh, you stick your head out the window?
Well, I don't know if they still do it. But I've heard about, maybe it was a COVID thing they started doing. But I never did it that way. There are drive-through ashes.
Drive-through ashes is an interesting thought. Okay, so that brings me right into this. My dad told me up in Alexandria when he was growing up, they had a drive-through funeral home.
Okay.
And basically, it's exactly how you think.
Yeah.
An open casket, there was a window you could drive up at. Basically, if you wanted to pay your respects, you couldn't make it to the funeral or the wake or whatever. They had a drive-through funeral home with a little casket viewing area, and you can just peek your head out the window, wave, give them the peace, roll on out.
That's so impersonal.
Right, but that's I'll have to get the name of it from him. I'll text him a little bit later and see what the name is. But yeah, he said there was a drive-through funeral home. That's old people stuff.
Right.
My dad was
during COVID. I know my cousin graduated in 2020. And so since COVID happened, they had a drive-through graduation.
A drive-through graduation? They just hand you your diploma through the window?
COVID ruined everything.
Well, I saw a picture the other day.
COVID made everybody antisocial.
Yeah.
So you were talking about ashes, the Catholic. I think it's the Catholic Church that does the holy water on the baby, right? Is that right?
To get baptized?
Right.
Yeah.
And remember they were doing the squirt guns.
Oh yeah.
They had I saw this picture the other day.
The priest
It said throwback to one of the craziest times of our life.
Yeah.
And it's priest has the mask on, parents have the mask on. He literally has a squirt gun.
Oh wow.
Shooting the baby with the squirt gun, and that's how they bless them.
That's wild.
And I'm like, what are we doing here?
What an insane time.
We're gonna tell our kids about that one day, and they're not gonna believe us. No. That didn't happen. But yeah, no,
I know it sounds dumb,
It did.
but it did.
And when you learn about it in class, they're going to leave out all the craziest parts too. Like
Right.
that is something that 100% did happen. Last night, LSU basketball, well, they played a game, if any of you are still interested, but they were in Austin taking on the Texas Longhorns, and Texas was on a 4-game winning streak coming into this game. They were trending in the right direction, and the game started out well for your LSU Tigers. I mean, they had an 11-7 lead early in that ball game, and then it was kind of back and forth. But what always seems to happen with this team happened once again. This team cannot make shots down low. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. They shot 32 of 62, so they were 52% from the field for the game. We'll get into the second half a little bit later. And they were good from the line as well, 16 of 19. That's not what hurt them. Points in the paint, again, 38, 36, but a lot of that was in the second half. They went on a drought where, I mean, they were missing shots point blank at the rim, clanking them off the back iron, clanking them off the side of the rim, off the backboard, you name it. They weren't making shots, and Texas's lead extended and extended and extended. It snowballed on them, and Texas wound up having a 15-point lead going into the halftime break. Well, your LSU Tigers stormed back. They lose this game 88-85. Like, you know, LSU does not play good defense. You're going to have to outscore teams to win games. I mean, they scored 52, but they outscored Texas 52-40 in that second half, and they had opportunities down the stretch to win that game. They just couldn't do it because, once again, Matt McMahon's squad finds a way to dig themselves into a big double-digit first-half deficit. I don't know why it's like this every single game. Most of the time, they just come out cold. It wasn't the case yesterday. I mean, I mentioned early in that game, LSU had an 11-7 lead, and it was kind of a back-and-forth game. And Texas slowed down. They were methodical. They made their shots, and LSU looked really hurried on the offensive end. They were forcing things that weren't there, and they were missing shots right there at the rim. It's kind of the same old song and dance with this team. Because, like, if you look at the box score, everything else was not bad. I mean, Markel Sutton finished with 21 points, 6 of 10 shooting. Max McKinnon, he didn't get the start, but, I mean, he came in within the first couple minutes. He played 33 minutes, so that was a de facto start for him. 27 points, 11 of 17 shooting. You tell me you get 27 from Max McKinnon, 21 from Markel Sutton. Despite the fact that LSU's been awful this year, I would have said, hey, they probably had a pretty decent shot at winning that game. But again, the double-digit deficit in the first half. It's every game with this team. I mean, there was, and if it's not that, it's another. Remember the Kentucky game a few weeks back? LSU was blowing out Kentucky. You had a 16-point lead in the first half. You still had a double-digit lead in the second, going into halftime. And then down the stretch, what happened? You could not make your easy open shots. Kentucky comes all the way back and wins that game. It's basically the same thing here. Just flip it first half to second half. Because you did such a good job in the second half of this ball game. I mean, look, we'll lay it out again. You outshot Texas from the free throw line. Now, you got to do a better job of not fouling defensively. Texas took 34 free throw attempts, and you took 19. I mean, they were 23 of 34, but they made more than you attempted. That's one of the things you look at in a basketball game. They always say, all these experts on TV always say, make more free throws than your opponent attempts. They did that, and they were at home. That gave them a big advantage because they were only 68% from the line. But it didn't matter. And, of course, LSU was going to get out-rebounded. I mean, this team is soft down low. But even the rebounding advantage wasn't that much for Texas. 34 rebounds for Texas, 27 for LSU. Offensive rebounds were about even. 7 for the Tigers, 8 for the Longhorns. And Texas turned the ball over more than you. You've done a good job. Last Saturday against Tennessee, LSU turned the ball over 3 times. Turned it over 5 times last night. That's only 8 times in a 2-game period. That's really good for a basketball team that's not very good. It's just you keep digging yourself into these first half holes. I mean, your largest lead was 4. That was early in the game. Texas's largest lead was 17. That was with about 4 minutes to go before the first half ended. But there were some positives. And it's hard to find positives for a team that's 2-11 in the SEC. I get it. But Jalen Reese, who I have been a little critical of earlier in the season, he seemed like he was hesitant to shoot the ball. He wasn't putting up a ton of points offensively. Jalen Reese has had back-to-back good games. Now, he was 4 for 12 last night. I get it. The shooting percentage wasn't great, but he was 2 for 4 from 3. He made all 4 of his free throws. He had 14 points. You combine that with his 20-point outing on Saturday, that is 34 points for Jalen Reese and a total of 1 turnover. He turned it over 1 time last night, did not turn it over at all against the Vols on Saturday. This is a guy that has been thrust into the starting lineup due to injuries to DJ Thomas. Even Max McKinnon's been banged up. And as a freshman, Jalen Reese, he's really answered the bell these last couple weeks. Now, it hasn't resulted in wins. Those are going to be really hard to come by for this team. But Jalen Reese has actually stepped up and done a really nice job. You knew you were going to get scoring from Max McKinnon. And out of conference, you thought Markel Sutton was going to be that next big guy. He had a good game last night, but Markel Sutton's been hit and miss once you got into SEC play. But Jalen Reese has really impressed me. And it's the minutes he's playing, too. He played all 40 minutes against Tennessee. He played 37 of the 40 last night. They are relying on him a lot here in SEC play due to these injuries. And honestly, like, in a season that's lost, look, you're 14-12, you're 2-11 in the SEC. You're trying to find a bright spot, hold out some sort of hope. It might be Jalen Reese. He's playing pretty well right now. We'll see if he can keep that going. LSU does take on number 25 Alabama in the PMAC, 5 p.m. on Saturday. Again, another really tough game for LSU. We'll see what they can do. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. When we get back, LSU versus Nicholls in the box tonight. We're breaking it down next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to getgordon.com. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Truly the place to go if you have any question. A live agent's actually going to pull up right there on the homepage of the website. So any question you might need to ask them, it can be answered right there. But also, you can see cases they can handle in the courtroom, past client results. All that information is on getgordon.com. It's always going to be at getgordon on all major social media as well. So Facebook, Instagram, X, whatever it might be. And then we always say it every single day, no matter where you're listening to us in Louisiana, put your area code followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
That's right. Get Gordon and get it done. GetGordon.com. If you have been injured, whether it's a car accident, whether it's on the job site, whether walking down the street, it doesn't matter. Give them a call and just start the conversation. Tell them about your case. Tell them about exactly what has happened. And then they go out and they fight for you. They've been doing it a long time because that is what they do. They get people in Louisiana exactly what they deserve. GetGordon.com.
I don't always wake up in the morning, pour myself a strong. Oh, but when I get lonely, I do.
Off the bench, presented by Hood Dental.
KTOZBlinds.com is the website.
It was safer.
K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. Been doing it since 2004. Brandon Barton and the team going to come out to your space, your home, your business, and learn your space. Going to know it better than you probably in like 5 or 10 minutes. That's what they've done for me. They did it for T. They're going to probably do it for Flynn. They'll do it for you as well. It's not just because we talk about them every day. That's just who they are, and that is what they get done every single day. Now, interior and outdoor living. Sometimes it's both, and that's what I have gotten from them. The shade is incredible. I told y'all the other day, my dad saw it. He's like, wait a minute, I want one of those. Brandon driving to Dallas, stops off in Shreveport, puts one up for my dad. That's just who they are. That is what you're going to get, that level of customer service. KTOZBlinds.com.
Welcome back in Wednesday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp here with you. Alondra Villarreal, Braxton Rizzuto here as well. LSU versus Nicholls today, actually 1 o'clock first pitch here on a Wednesday. A little bit of an earlier time for a midweek game. We'll get into all that. But first, let's go ahead and get this show started.
It's time to get glowing, courtesy of GoFlow IV Spa, where hydration, vitamins, and a summer-ready glow are always on tap. Now, for starters.
Okay, your LSU Tigers taking on the Nicholls State Colonels today in Alec Box Stadium. Their fifth game over a 6-day period. Biggest question for everyone tonight, who's going to get the start on the mound? Because, again, fifth game in 6 days. There's a few options out there, and I want to point to some guys that did not play at all over the weekend. Reagan Ricken has a chance to start this game. Look, he was, I think, the 46th overall player by perfect game as far as the top 100 freshmen go coming into the season. Number 4th ranked high school right-handed pitcher in the state of California, 13th overall in the nation. This is a guy that had a lot of hype coming into the season. And again, we haven't seen him yet on the weekend. Reagan Ricken, certainly a possibility out there for tonight. Another one who we didn't see over the weekend, kind of surprising. We haven't seen him yet. Maybe it's for this moment. Zion Theopolis. He was the number 1 right-handed pitcher in all of Ohio last year. Came in, he participated in fall ball, and he actually threw the ball really well, according to Hunt Musso. Anybody that was out there at fall baseball scrimmages said that Zion Theopolis actually threw the ball really, really well. I mean, you look at what he did in high school. He was a 23-3 mark as a starter in high school, 140 ERA, 245 strikeouts in just 164 innings. So this is a guy that's thrown a lot in high school. He started a lot of games, and he had a lot of success doing it. So that's certainly an option to start for you here on this Wednesday. There's also Connor Benj. Has not pitched yet. Now, I don't know if Connor Benj starts this game, but didn't see him over the weekend. And we saw him in a lot of different spots last year. He was a setup guy. They used him in the back of the bullpen on a lot of midweek games. We even saw him in some weekend action. He played in 16 games a year ago. So I don't know if Benj necessarily starts, but I do think we see Connor Benj at some point. And I think you have to see Connor Benj because there's a chance that he's a pretty significant part of your rotation going forward here in 2026. My preference is Cooper Williams. Now, I don't need Cooper Williams going 4, 5, 6 innings in this game because you'll probably need him on the weekend. But I just want him to get the feel of starting here in 2026 in case that actually has to happen on the weekends. Look, I think Kason Evans is going to be able to be a Friday night guy, but there's a chance he's not. You tried this with Zach Hess after Zach Hess's good freshman year, and it didn't work out for him. Zach Hess was a lot better as that back end of the bullpen guy than he was a starter. You ultimately made that switch, and your team was better for it. Maybe that happens to Kason Evans. Again, we saw him a little bit starting last year, and I thought he did a fine job. I think he'll be good there. But look, Cooper Williams was up for a starting rotation as well. It was the 4 guys. It was Evans, Cooper Moore, William Schmidt, Cooper Williams. Those are the guys you heard. And honestly, if you want a left-handed arm starting in your weekend rotation, Cooper Williams is probably that guy. Maybe get him a start. I mean, he went 2 2/3 innings over the weekend. Gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 5 Ks, no walks. So he was solid his first time out. Is that a guy you could put him there, give him 2 to 3 innings? Be fine by Saturday if you need him. The good news is you have so many arms still available. I mean, I just rattled off 3 or 4 of them there. But we haven't seen Danny Lockenmeyer yet. Now, Lockenmeyer's not going to start this game, but look at what he did in relief last year at North Dakota State. I mean, a 2.37 ERA. Threw a lot of big-time innings for the Bison a year ago. Santiago Garcia is available. Alondra mentioned him the other day as like a guy that we were excited to see who maybe didn't quite live up to the hype in opening weekend. And he's available. He didn't throw very much over the weekend. And it'd be nice to get him a bounce-back spot against a Nicholls team that we'll get into doesn't hit the ball particularly well. I mean, hell, Zach Cowan. Zach Cowan threw in 1 inning over the weekend, and he wasn't good. Now, concern level's probably not there for a guy like Zach Cowan because, well, you know what he can do, but get him out there, put him in there for an inning or 2, get him out. Build that confidence back up a little bit going into this weekend. You'll see a number of guys. The good news is you should have success against Nicholls. I don't ever want to shortchange anybody, but they struggled pretty mightily against Tennessee over the weekend. They had 164 as a team. And a lot of people are going to push back and say, yeah, well, Tennessee has one of the best pitching staffs in the country. Yeah, LSU probably should as well. That's kind of the quality pitching that Nicholls is going to see today. It's pretty much what you saw over the weekend against Tennessee. In those 3 games against Tennessee, 10-0, 5-1, 12-2. So was it super competitive? I mean, they put up a total of 3 runs in 3 games. Also, it'll be their 6th game in 5 days as well. And I just don't see them having the pitching depth of a team like LSU. I mean, again, they struggled over the weekend with their starters. Look how many runs they gave up. Like 5-1 wasn't bad on Saturday, but you gave up a 10 spot on Friday. You gave up 12 over the weekend. And those were supposed to be your front line, top of the rotation guys. And you got crushed by Tennessee. Again, Tennessee's a really good team, but you're at the bottom of your bullpen. Like I think LSU is going to have a lot of success here. And it's a great opportunity to get some guys in there that, one, haven't pitched yet, or 2, struggled in opening weekend to get some confidence back. Londra, I'll come to you here real quick. Like there's a lot of options. I mean, a lot of names were just thrown out there, but I mean, it doesn't have to be somebody that goes 5 innings, but who do you want to see start today?
So I kind of agree that I would like to see Cooper Williams, only because I'm not convinced that William Schmidt has the Sunday spot locked in. He might, but I don't know. It depends. So I would like to see a little more of Cooper Williams, and I would like to see him not coming out of the pen and just starting. But yeah, you mentioned Lockenmeyer. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Danny Lockenmeyer.
Yeah. He was a reliever last season, but Jay will move people around. Yep. So he's another option. He's somebody that I would like to see just in general. He was at North Dakota State. I know it's not the same type of competition, but he did pretty well there. I think he was number 21 in the top 100 transfers in the transfer portal. So I would like to see him in general, but I know he threw some this weekend, not too much, but I would like to see Cooper Williams get the start. I thought he would get it maybe on Monday, even though he threw.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I guess not, but yeah, that's my opinion on that.
No, I'm with you. And like for Lockenmeyer, start, relief, whatever, we got to see him because it's another lefty in the bullpen, right? Like right now, you have Cooper Williams as a lefty. DJ Primo's been on the roster for a number of years, but he's been kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
And you brought in a few transfers, but like Danny Lockenmeyer, like look, as far as the transfer pitchers go, like I know people love Santiago Garcia, and rightfully so, but Danny Lockenmeyer had a 2.37 ERA a year ago and threw a lot of innings for North Dakota State. He's, 6'3", 220? I mean, that's a guy that, as a lefty coming out of the pen, he could play high leverage moments for you. He played high leverage moments a year ago, so...
like a 2.37 ERA in 38 innings. Like, again, I know the competition at North Dakota State's not the same, but that's pretty good. 56 strikeouts and 18 walks. And I don't know, like, I guess I didn't hear too much about Santiago Garcia. I just, whenever he came out, loved the name. Loved the walkout song.
Name.
And he didn't look great. I know it was his first outing, but he didn't look great on, what was it, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, it was
Sunday.
Sunday.
But yeah, maybe throw him out there, see if he can get his confidence up, get some rhythm. I know that Ben on the call was talking about how sometimes it's just about getting out there and getting reps and finding your footing.
So Santiago Garcia, fun fact, high school teammates with Stephen Milam. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's, there's familiarity there. But, yeah, I mean, Garcia transferring in. But, yeah, I mean, another lefty out of the bullpen because it's weird to say, like, you have a lot of options as far as left-handers out of the bullpen, but almost all of them are question marks outside of Cooper Williams. Because, again, DJ Primo's been here, and you've been waiting for him to make that next step, but he hasn't done that yet. Yeah. Like, he's been hit and miss. He's had some good outings. He's had some bad. I mean, Cooper Williams is that one guy. Like, sure, Lockenmeyer was good last year. You haven't seen him in an LSU uniform. Like, for Santiago Garcia last year at Oregon, I mean, he had 3-0 mark, but a 4.20 ERA. He threw 30 innings with 4 saves. But 40 strikeouts, only 19 walks. I mean, that's right up there with a Danny Lockenmeyer. Yeah. So another guy that could really make an impact for this team off the mound. I mean, there's so many options. And again, I hate to pile on to Nicholls, but he hit 164 over the weekend. Now, are your pitchers tonight,
They also run ruled us last year.
They did. Don't ask for a run rule today.
Wait, I will. Can we get a run rule from LSU?
Okay.
Can LSU run rule Nicholls?
There you go. Because last year you didn't specify.
Did Gavin pitch Monday?
Gavin did pitch Monday.
He did? Okay.
Yeah. And so Gavin's pitched twice. So we're probably not going to see Gavin Guidry here Tonight, plus, I mean, we know what he can do. They really just wanted to see if Gavin Guidry was fully healthy from his injury, and knock on wood,
I feel like
looks
Jay,
like he is.
Yeah. I feel like Jay's just trying to see what he's got right now. So I think we'll see the people that we haven't seen yet.
He definitely
Absolutely.
needs to get back in a rhythm.
Well, and then
He looks like he's in a rhythm.
yeah, he looks great.
Looks like he didn't miss a step.
I am perfectly okay with not seeing Gavin Guidry again until the weekend. Like that guy, keep him right
and his
where he is.
confidence was like the exact
he's
ish
always had
talking,
confidence.
he's
It's kind of how he earned that spot as a freshman.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that year off did not affect him at all. I mean, I'm sure it did, but you know what I mean. It doesn't look.
No,
like
right,
it
and it had really been closer to 18 months because I mean he didn't throw all last year, but he missed the back half of the year before that. Like Gavin, he almost looks better than he did before the injury. I mean, as wild as the thing as that is to say, Gavin looks really good. But yeah, I mean, guys like Garcia can get back out there. I'm okay with seeing Cowan for an inning if you want to build his confidence back up going into the weekend. But I mean, as far as you're not going to see Evans, Schmidt, Cooper Moore, and Gavin Guidry. I mean, those are the guys you're not going to see. Outside of that, it's kind of fair game for whatever Jay Johnson wants to do. And again, I think they'll have a lot of success against a Nicholls lineup that really struggled over the weekend. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. There is something going on around college sports right now, college basketball in general. Coaches calling out their players, but catching a lot of backlash for it. Is it okay to call out your players? We're talking about it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
All right, banking should feel personal because, well, it is. At First American Bank and Trust, you're not just an account number. You are a neighbor with locations across Louisiana. They deliver personal service backed by the strength and technology you expect from a modern bank. So whether you're opening a checking account, growing your business, financing a home, or planning for the future, their team takes the time to understand your goals and build a plan that works for you. It's local decision-making, trusted relationships, real service. That is the difference. You can visit them online at fabt.com today to learn more. First American Bank and Trust, banking built around you.
That's right. For more than 100 years, they've helped Louisiana families purchase their first home, build businesses, grow their businesses, plan for the future, and it's all done with local bankers who live and work right here in our community. So know your banker, get straight answers, work with people that actually care about your success. And when you call, no phone trees, no out-of-state decisions being made on a loan, just honest banking that's built on trust. First American Bank and Trust, FABT.com.
Off the bench, presented by Hood Dental.
All right, so you heard Flynn the other day. I mean, he loves Dos Equis. You know that we here on the OTB team love Dos Equis. It is the perfect beer for any occasion. Lake beer, beach beer, shower beer, bath beer, you name it beer, like ballpark beer. It is the go-to, and we've said it. We're going to continue to say it, whether you're tailgating outside of Tiger Stadium, watching the Saints on a Sunday, or just kicking back with your crew. Dos Equis brings that bold flavor and smooth finish that turns ordinary into legendary. It's not just beer. It is the beer of champions, or at least the beer of guys who feel like champions, but you will feel like a champion when you enjoy an ice-cold Dos Equis. So you don't have to be a champion because Dos Equis will make you a champion. So the next time you're watching the game, grab a Dos Equis, and remember, stay thirsty, my friends, responsibly, of course. Dos Equis, official beer of unforgettable sports moments.
I think 5 champions in that Jacob Hester Dos Equis live read. I meant to count yesterday. I think it's 5. I think that's what I got here.
What do you mean?
Like he said champion 5 times in that live read.
I was not paying attention.
A lot of college basketball coaches right now are taking a lot of heat for calling out their players. So on Sunday, UAB lost the game 55-54 to Tulane. Now, look, UAB, it's a close loss. So you're thinking, okay, 1 point loss, but they made just 10 of 22 layups in their defeat. And Coach Andy Kennedy, he had what I think is a pretty funny reaction. After the game, he said, guys, we're talking about layups. These are scholarship players that are making more money than most people in this room. Is it too much to ask for you to make a layup? He said, seriously, we're in bozo land, man. We can't finish at the basket, and that's where we really miss some of our injured players. And he took a lot of pushback for this, and I struggling to figure out why. He's not the only one. So Kansas State fired their head basketball coach, Jerome Tang, on Sunday. They played a game on Wednesday that they lost to Cincinnati. It was 91-62, so a blowout loss. And Jerome Tang went up there and said that he said it's ridiculous. These dudes got to have some pride. It means something to wear the Kansas State uniform. And went on to say that this team was embarrassing. He said, play with some pride. A lot of these guys aren't going to be here next year. And Kansas State fired him. Now, when you go look at his record, I've seen a lot of people come out in defense of Kansas State and say, yeah, but, he's fallen behind. I mean, he was 73-57 overall at Kansas State. But first year, 26-10. Second year, 19-15. He was just 16-17 last year and 10-15 this year. So you can see the decline. I get it. It's been declining for 3 straight years now. Made the tournament year 1, but nothing outside of that. So I've heard a lot of people say, yeah, well, Jerome Tang, it wasn't working out anyways. So this was just an out for Kansas State. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just a coincidence that they fire him right after this. But Pete Thamel put out on Sunday night after Jerome Tang had been fired, the Kansas State was firing Jerome Tang for cause. He said the basis for the cause firing is language in his contract that references an activity that brings public disrepute, embarrassment, and ridicule to Kansas State. So they essentially fire Jerome Tang for calling out his players in a press conference saying, well, most of them are going to be here next year anyways. I'll figure it out. You give power to the players in the transfer portal. That's all fine. When a coach decides that a player is not up to snuff and he says they're not going to be here next year, they can enter the transfer portal. He's ridiculed for it. I've kind of an issue with that because, look, for the longest time, everyone had argued, well, the NCAA and the coaches have all the power, the players have no power. Sure, that's fine. You're not going to hear much of an argument from me on that. But now it just kind of seems like the players have all the power and nobody else can really say otherwise or they get in trouble for it. Don't you kind of have the same problem? Shouldn't there be more of a checks and balances system going on here in college athletics? There's not. A player can enter the portal whenever they want. And a coach can leave a school whenever they want, but when a coach gets mad about it and calls out his team, you fire the guy for it? Now, look, I get that Kansas State was probably looking for a way out because they didn't like the way the program was going. They didn't like the direction of things. I just mentioned that they had been declining as a basketball team for, 3 straight years now. You went 24-10. You hadn't gotten back to 20 wins since then. He's in year 4. But I don't see why these coaches are taking so much criticism for criticizing their players. Their jobs are on the line too. And those coaches have families. They got to win games. If not, they're out the door. So as a coach, if you think you've done everything you can to get your team prepared and your players aren't showing up, they're not doing what they're supposed to, you got to let everybody know, like, hey, it's not on me. I deserve to be here. I've done my job. I need my players to go out and do theirs. Also, players are paid nowadays, guys. You heard Andy Kennedy say, we have players on this team that are making more money than most people in this room. You want to make money? You want to be treated like a professional? This is what happens. Professional coaches call out their players all the time. They get criticism for it too, which I think is dumb, but I don't really think Andy Kennedy, Jerome Tang, whoever else gets criticized for this, I don't really think they're off base here. You want to be treated like an adult, like a professional. You want to make money doing this? Okay, but you're going to be held to a higher standard. You're going to be called out in press conferences. Your coach is going to criticize you even more because it's essentially your job to do this. If you're not doing good at your job, you're going to get called out for it. Just like that head coach is, if you're not performing on the court, it all falls back on him. I don't really know why this is a discussion. I just think it's a little silly. Like when you look at this, you're like, okay, this is where college athletes have gone. And you hear the old head say, oh, well, the soft generation. When you look at something like this, yeah, Yeah, it's and sure, like what Andy Kennedy said is funny, and Andy Kennedy as of right now is still employed, but I don't know. I mean, unless I'm completely off base here, and again, like go back to Jerome Tang's record: 26-10, 19-5, 16-7, 10-15. So they were trending in the wrong direction. Now he had a winning record overall, but I mean, you get it. 4 straight years on the decline, hasn't made the tournament since year 1. I just think it kind of sets a bad precedent to fire the guy right after those comments. It was 4 days after. He made the comments Wednesday night after the game. They fired him on Sunday. So, I mean, what are we doing here? Can no coach speak their mind anymore? I mean, a coach has to show up, put in all this work, take all the blame with the loss, and he can't call out his own players? I mean, it's not like he was yelling at an opposing player or throwing something on the court. Like it's not that. Now, again, Kansas State says anything that, or Pete Thamel tweeted, anything that brings public disrepute, embarrassment, and ridicule to Kansas State. I'm sure as this story moves along, you'll hear more and more. You always do. It's not just going to be one thing that they let Jerome Tang for. I get that. There's going to be more under the surface. It just, from the outside, that's what you see right now. As the story changes, people's opinions will change. I get that. Mine will. But I just think it's, even before he was fired, like whether he was fired for this or not, he took a lot of flack for calling out. I mean, national ESPN was playing, and I listen to national ESPN driving in every morning. They were talking about Jerome Tang calling out the team. Again, Andy Kennedy called out his team. That made national news. I guess, like, if you want to fire the guy, if he did something else wrong, fine. I'm all for that. Whether it's off the court, on the court, he did something wrong, get him out of there. But, I don't know, coaches catching flack for calling out their players who aren't performing. I don't really see what the point of that is. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we get back, we're going to wrap up hour number 1. Busy hours 2 and 3. So in hour 2, straight up 8 o'clock, Dr. Stephen Etheridge will be in for his normal weekly segment. We'll have him in studio. LSU Beach volleyball coach Russell Brock will join us. Their season officially begins on Friday. We'll get a quick preview from him. Then in hour number 3, Devin Snow, who normally joins us on Monday, will join us Wednesday, today, 9:15. We'll get his breakdown. He had a lot of Mardi Gras thoughts. We'll get all that from Devin. But when we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1 here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
GCOPnet.com, Gulf Coast Office Products, the leader in office solutions, not only here in Baton Rouge, but in the entire Gulf Coast. That's why the Pelicans, the Saints, the Tigers, and the Raging Cajuns all trust GCOP. If you are part of a law firm, engineering firm, university, bank, hospital, well, you know how important documents are. And you know you need them when you need them. Right then, right there, not down the road. And you're always going to get that because no matter what, when you call Gulf Coast Office Products, the person that answers is going to be the person that helps you. They're not transferring you to 17 different people. Go to the website, gcopnet.com.
That's right, Gulf Coast Office Product. Louisiana's leader when it comes to office technology. So printers, copiers, scanners, whatever it is. You know that lifeline of the office and how it functions and runs is that paper trail. And you cannot afford any downtime. I don't care if it's a one-person office or a 1,000-person office. If you have downtime, that's why their award-winning service team can help you out and help you out fast. That's Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com.
I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought of running away? Settling down, would you marry me? If I ask you twice and beg you pretty please.
Off the Bench, presented by Hood Dental.
I should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to ride.
I don't want to cut this song off. What a banger.
I decided to honor you instead of Jake today. I know
Okay.
it's usually R&B Wednesday,
Okay.
but I'm playing some Taylor ass songs
This
today.
is a Taylor
I love
ass
it.
song if I've ever heard one. 100%. So we had a awakening in the break. Alondra asked if it was a leap year this year. We were informed that it was not.
No.
Why the hell do we have leap years?
I don't know, but I think your theory, if we just take one of the days off of 31.
Well, because you got like, so like there's some months that have 30 days, some months that have 31.
I'm about to ask Matt's best friend.
In a normal year, February has 28 days.
Right.
If you just pluck 2 of the 31 months, stick them right there in February, we got 30 months in February, keep it rolling. I don't really understand. That's stupid. I don't like it. Oh, I do have an update on the drive-through funeral home.
Yeah.
By the way, my text from my dad. There was a drive-through funeral home in Alexandria. It was a converted bank. So they would stand the casket up
Okay.
facing the drive-through window, and people could go by and pay your respects without ever having to get out of the car. So drive-through funeral home in Alexandria. That I had that right. That was an actual thing.
So that's crazy, by the way, but I'm asking Matt's friend about the leap year, right? And I said,
Right.
why can't you just take one out of the months that have 31 days?
You can.
And
They're going to
ChatGPT
say you can't.
Yes,
you can.
it said, honestly, we could. There's nothing about physics or astronomy that requires February to be weird.
Also,
It's just history. History locked it in.
I'm
Shout
not-
out to Caesar.
I'm
Because
not
it's part
a,
of the Julian calendar.
Oh, look at that. It is. I'm not a math whiz here, but if every 4 years you got an extra day in February, isn't that 366 days?
Yeah.
And we have 365 days a year. You're not
Well,
taking one away from another.
So it's because the Earth orbit. Wait, hold on. I can't do this in real time. But there's a reason why it's every 4 years. It's because of the way
Like
that the Earth
rotation?
orbits. And like we would still have, still have 365 days. It wouldn't be 366.
This seems way too, like, who came up with this? This seems dumb. Let's just have February like all the other months and move on. It's
Yeah.
stupid. I think, though, like, this could be completely wrong.
This is
but I'm
what I
pretty
was
sure.
talking about, though, when I was talking about Ben and Lynn. And I was like, is this how
Right.
people feel listening to OTBs? Because we do this.
Well, when you brought up the question during the break, I'm like, I don't know anything about leap years.
No.
As a matter of fact, I know less than nothing about leap years. But, I mean, you, like, if you're born on February 29th on a leap year,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, you're
You
21st.
don't have a birthday.
I'm pretty right. You're only 4 when you're actually like,
Yeah. Like on Modern Family, Cam's birthday was on a leap year. And so he would always, like his 40th
He was
birthday.
1 when he was 4,
It
yeah.
was his 40th birthday. He's like, I'm turning 10 years old. And he had like this 10-year-old birthday party.
That's actually hilarious. I think, like, if you're 21, 18, that type of thing, I think you are supposed to celebrate it March 1st.
Okay.
I think. I would do the 28th,
I don't think it would matter. I would do 28 too, just because it's still February.
but I think it's, if it's total number, I think it's March 1st. I'm not 100% on that. But see, we shouldn't have to have this discussion because February should only have, February should be 30 days like everybody else. What is it, March? March is 31.
I think it's like
July's
every other
31.
one.
Pull them. Pull those days, slide them into February. Boom, be done with it. I don't know. The drive-through funeral home made me think of some of the other stuff that we did during COVID because that had COVID to me written all over it. We talked about the baptizing the babies with the squirt guns. Do y'all remember when they came out and said, well, you can't have Thanksgiving. Like, you can do it, but we just want all your family members over Zoom.
Yeah.
Y'all can all call in over Zoom. And then
Yeah.
the dots at the grocery store. I had just looked up. I remember the
Oh,
dots
yeah.
at the grocery store.
That was like
And,
6
like, me-
feet or whatever.
I didn't mean anything by it. I wasn't trying to be malicious. Like, I had the mask on because you had to go into the store.
Yeah.
I vividly remember this. I was at Walmart in Walker. I stayed at the checkout line. I don't even know what I'm picking up, like a few things. I'm just standing there minding my own business. The older gentleman in front of me turned around and goes, Sir, I need you to back up, please. And I was like, what? And like, I wasn't right up on the guy. And he goes, your dot. You have to be on your dot.
Your
You're not on
dot.
your dot. So I literally took like 2 steps back and stood on my dot. I was like, are we good?
When we used to like go into the restaurant with the masks on and then you'd sit down and take your mask
But
off.
you had to put it back on, like stand up immediately, put it on and leave.
I got a funny one. I think it was my cousin's birthday. His birthday's in April, and we obviously couldn't have a birthday party. So
that was like when it was just happening,
right? It was
Right.
like my
It was like
sister. My
March.
sister got married March 14th, and that was like one of the last weddings they had.
That's crazy.
In 2020.
Jeez. But basically, we, I guess, lapped around like his house in the neighborhood and like drove by and told him happy birthday.
Oh yeah, when people were
Yeah,
doing like the drive-by happy birthdays. Or the drive-by
weird.
graduations like you were saying earlier.
Anyways, thank goodness we're past that. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Pretty fun hour 1 there.
It will.
We got a little semi education on a leap year. I'm sure Alondra she dove into it, but it's AI. Like it's Matt Flynn's buddy. We're not sure how accurate that even is. Coming up in hour number 2, Dr. Stephen Etheridge in studio for his normal Wednesday spot. LSU Beach volleyball coach Russell Brock at 8:15. Then in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll talk some LSU football. We'll talk some Saints. Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. He joins us for his normal 9:15 slot. Had to push it back from Monday. He was a busy guy out there in New Orleans with all the Mardi Gras going on. But a busy hour 2 and 3 coming up. Stay tuned. Top of hour number 2, we got Dr. Etheridge in studio here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
We all know hard work, not just a slogan. It's a way of life, and that's exactly what you get with Pala. Founded right here in Louisiana, proudly 100% employee-owned, something we always want to remind you about. Pala has been delivering industrial construction, specialty services, and power solutions since 1973. So from heavy industrial projects to safety services and advanced specialty applications, their companies serve critical industries across the Gulf Coast and certainly beyond. So when the job demands precision, safety, and experience, Pala delivers every single time. Employee-owned means every project matters, every detail counts. You can learn more about their full family of companies at palagroup.com. That is PALA group.com, palagroup.com.